Okay, so this is going to be part 2 because I'm having one of those days. I knew what happened because I was so tired and everything's going totally wrong. So I've gone to get my gelatin and I haven't got any. So Bob's gone to the co-op and the co-op haven't got any. So he's gone to Sainsbury's. He's coming back with a gelatin and he'll be here soon. And in the meantime, I'm going to talk to you about sieving blackberries. Such an exciting topic, girls, but I will show you because these are hedgerow blackberries. If you buy cultivated blackberries, they're bigger and less pippy. But these are hedgerow blackberries gathered by near the river, near me, by the river. My friend bought them. Really kind of her because I said to her, where's the best place to get blackberries? And she said, I'll get you some. I go out with the dogs every morning. I'll bring you blackberries back. And she did. She must have bought me about £2. And I've only used £1.50. So they take a lot of sieving. A lot of sieving. Now, I do say in my recipe, this is equally good with raspberries. I wouldn't use strawberries. You need something quite sharp. I mean, my father used to grow blackberries and they were enormous. He had a brand, not a brand, what's it called? A species, a type anyway, called Himalayan Giant, and they were thornless and they were beautiful, but they were huge, really huge, like big grapes, but they were blackberries, so they were really lovely. And if you buy them in a shop, I suspect A, they will cost you a fortune, and B, they will not be as pippy. So, you know, you pay your money, you take your choice, but raspberries would be equally good. And you can use frozen ones because I've used frozen ones for this. By sieving it, I've been sieving it for ages. By sieving it, you get all the pips out. And it does mean that if you've got hedgerow ones like me, there's the odd stalk or a bit of leaf or, you know, a feather or something. None of those are in here because they're all in here. So none of them are in the bottom, which is where all the gorgeous blackberry stuff is. And you want that kind of sharpness of the blackberries, which is why I say raspberries would be good. And I'm guessing you could use blueberries, blackcurrants, you could use other fruit. But the recipe I have is blackberries, so that's what we're making. Now, because they were frozen, they made a lot of juice, and I don't know that I want all the juice in there, but I might just pour a bit more. So my second handy hint of the day is to use a glass bowl, because blackberries, as you can see, it's starting to look a bit like a massacre in here. Blackberries, a bit like cooking beetroot, you know, everything is blackberry stained now. Those stains will not come out of my washing up cloth. I'm wiping my work surface down every 5 seconds so they don't stain. And if this was a plastic bowl, it will stain. And in fact, if you look at my scale pan, that's quite stained as well. So blackberries really are, you know, a bit of a pain in the neck. So do use a glass bowl, not a nice white plastic bowl, of which I have many, but I haven't used one today. So that's just a handy hint. And that's my stuff there, ready for the gelatin. Now, because Bob's had to go to Sainsbury's to get the gelatin, this fruit is now cold. But you actually need the fruit hot to dissolve the gelatin. So I'm going to have to reheat this to do the recipe as per the instructions. So when he comes back, I will show you what to do, and I'll reheat it. But I'm going to make a bit more stuff than that. I don't think I've got quite enough juice in there for the amount of, you don't want it solid with the gelatin. But you also don't want so much that you can't get it all in your biscuit base. So I'm going to put a bit more of this in here. Oh, there's a few more blackberries in there, actually. A few more loose little blackberry bits in there. You can see all the bits at the bottom there. Oh. I'm doing this. I'm wearing white trousers, which is fairly ludicrous considering what I'm cooking. But I think we've been saying for the last few weeks, oh, I can't wear white trousers anymore. And of course, suddenly today, it was gloriously hot and sunny, and the white trousers came out again. Very exciting. Had to iron them. But I think they're probably they'll be heading for the winter department fairly soon. So if you used fresh fruit, you wouldn't have all of this juice. You wouldn't have nearly as much juice as that if you had fresh fruit. It's because it was frozen. They've only been frozen. I froze them. We went away on Saturday last week. I think I froze them on Friday. They've only been frozen a week, but even so. And I have got a bag of berries in the freezer, which is, they call them berries, some of them are currants. And actually that's raspberries, blackberries, red currants and black currants. And I think that would be lovely for this as well. But again, it would be frozen, so you wouldn't want all of the juice. So I'm going to leave that lot there. I'm covered in blackberry. And I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put you on pause until the man and the gelatin appear, as if by magic. On pause. So the day has been saved by my wonderful husband, who's been to collect the gelatin for me. He's had to go, he went to the co-op, and then he went to Sainsbury's, and he got it in Sainsbury's. So hurrah, we have got gelatin. So if you look at the recipe, if you look at the recipe, I'm trying to find the recipe, hold on. If you look at the recipe, which is, no, where's the recipe? The recipe says, Lordy, what does the recipe says? The recipe says, hang on a minute, girls, I'll be with you. Hang on a minute. The recipe says, an envelope of gelatin, which is what I have in my hot little hand. So I have here an envelope of gelatin.